Dean, thank you so much for being with us tonight. What is your reaction to these lawsuits brought by Daniel Schuler?
I really wasn't surprised at all. We anticipated actually a few more than we've heard, but I think since today is the deadline, there may be more in the works.
Well, I don't get it. First of all, why compound the grief of somebody who has already lost three children in this crash, and then you sue him? This is Daniel Schuler. This is the guy who is suing his former brother-in-law. Do you have any explanation? You've written a book on this.
Well, absolutely. To Daniel Schuler, it's for the money. I think that was pretty clear in the photos he released of his wife in the HBO documentary last night. If anything, that shows absolutely no love for that woman. It was horrific.
You mentioned an HBO film. Yes, it's a series that began last night. I'm going to show you a clip right now. This is how controversial it is that HBO is doing a series on this one car crash. Check it out.
911. Hi, I'm at the Taconic Highway. A car is going like 70 miles an hour in the wrong direction. An accident. Route 117.
Is there any injuries?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of kids.
I want to know what happened to my wife. What they're saying is not true. I wouldn't be doing this.
I said to Diane, have a safe trip home.
If she stopped for Advil, something was bothering her.
If you just come forward and say, I'm sorry, she made a mistake, you could accept that. What are you trying to cover up?
All right, and I want to show you a Google map of the intersection from really where it happened and introduce you to Laura Dean-Mooney. Laura Dean-Mooney, former president of Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Your husband was killed by a drunk driver. That's just an indication of the area where this horror occurred. Another lawsuit that he has filed is against the state of New York, claiming the highway was poorly designed and there weren't enough signs, even though there was a sign that said do not enter. I mean, this is mind-boggling to me. This woman had in her body the equivalent of 10 drinks, according to the authorities, and marijuana, traces of marijuana, and yet he is suing the state of New York for poorly designing a highway, and he is suing the father of who lost 3 daughters in this crash?
It's just unbelievable. You know, for them to think that they can put this blame on someone else it hurts. It hurts those families who are involved. And, you know, it's like if the man that killed my husband, who also was a wrong-way driver, said, well, his family sues because he didn't get a deer. He was on the way home from a deer hunting trip. Big deal. He was entering the highway the wrong way, traveling at a high rate of speed, just like Diane Schuler was. But the thing is, they were both drunk. There's no one else to blame except the person, the driver themselves. And it is painful to think that Mr. Schuler would try to put the blame on a relative, a family member who's grieving the loss. That's one thing, Jane, people need to understand. You don't get over a sudden loss like this. You get through it. But grief takes many, many years to process.
Well, you can never process grief when you've lost 3 children. That's not possible. No.